HB 1637. Clerk, read the bill.
HB 1637 by Turner of Tarrant relating to normal weekly hours of work under the Shared Work Unemployment Compensation Program.
Yeah. Chair recognizes Mr. Turner.
Mr. Speaker, members, HB 1637 makes a simple but important change to the Texas Shared Work Program to better allow manufacturers, distributors, and others that use odd-hour shifts to take better advantage of the program.
Mr. Speaker,
Guerin.
would the gentleman yield?
I'd be happy to yield to my friend from Fort
Thank you,
Worth.
Mr. Turner. You just yielded the floor to me. I'm on the way down.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Keffer? No. Sorry, you got to move, sir.
You gotta move.
You got to move. You yielded.
You yielded the floor to me. You should have.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Turner, you yielded. Mr. Speaker, will Mr. Guerin yield?
Gladly, Mr. Keffer.
Mr. Dunham?
Will Mr. Keffer yield for a question?
For a question?
Yes.
I'll do that. Will you please scoot over?
I'm trying to figure out, please, was it like Turner Day in calendars or something? Because we just had one Turner on the mic. I don't know how this happened. Another Turner on the mic. I don't know how this happened. Do we have to like change our names to Turner to get a bill on the floor?
I think you have a legitimate, we've disagreed on a few things, but let me tell you, you are right on this. I don't know how this happened.
Can we have a Dunham-Dutton Day, you know, with my cousin, Mr. Dutton?
No, I won't go that far, but you do have a point on the Turner. And there he goes. Does anybody else want to, would you like for me to yield, Mr. Dunham?
Yeah, would you yield, Mr.
Yes,
Keffer?
I
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Turner? For what purpose?
Would Mr. Dunham yield?
Mr. Dunham, do you yield?
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Raymond?
would the gentleman yield?
Does the gentleman yield? I don't think so, Mr. Raymond.
Question?
It is a question. It's a question you're going to like.
I will yield for a question.
And members, we're past politics, but last year when we had the political season, I went and joined Mr. Turner at a campaign event, his campaign event, and after I gave my little speech about why he'd be a very good legislator, one of his supporters stood up and said the reason they needed to vote for him is because he'd be the greatest legislator in the history of this state. Do you recall that, Mr. Turner?
I do recall that.
For the benefit of the members, would you like to tell us who made that statement?
That was my wife, Mr.
There you go. The beginning of the journey of the greatest legislator in the history of the state. Thank you. Good luck.
But I think she was joking when she said it.
Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, gentleman yield. Mr. Turner, do you yield?
I'll yield for a question.
Mr. Turner, I may have more than one question for you. Are you familiar with the town of West in between Hillsborough and Waco?
I am, in fact.
Is it true that every time on your way to the Capitol, from your home in Burleson and to your apartment in Austin, that you stop in the city of West at the Shell station and buy kolaches?
Sometimes I have been known to stop at the Shell station.
That kolache place is known as one of your favorite places to stop and eat, right?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Also, wanted to ask you, when you were running for office, you ran for office in Tarrant County, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, your district is near mine, as a matter of fact. Did you disclose to the voters in your district that you were actually from Dallas and attended Skyline High School in Dallas County? Did you let the Fort Worth residents in your district know that you were actually from Dallas?
Mr. Vesey, I believe we did disclose that at some point in the campaign, although I don't think it was a regular talking point. No, I acknowledge that.
Well, that's probably a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vesey.
Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Leibowitz, what purpose?
would the gentleman yield for some questions?
Gentleman yield?
I will yield for some questions.
Representative Turner, I looked at your bill. How many lines long is it?
The actual changes to the law is 2 lines.
Okay. And it looks like it only adds like 11 words to the labor code. Is that correct?
I haven't counted, but that sounds about right.
Now, if you look at your bill analysis, could you kindly tell us how many paragraphs it entails?
Give me a moment. I'll be glad to do that. My bill analysis is 4 paragraphs,
And how many words are in the bill analysis?
more than that's in the bill,
About 250 words?
give or take.
Could you explain to us why you needed 250 words to explain why you were going to change 11 words in the statute?
We wanted to be very detailed and make sure that all the members of the House understood exactly what this bill does.
Now, on another note, I understand you were Chet Edwards' campaign manager,
I was at one time, yes.
and what you worked through like 2006 with him.
Yes, I did work for him in that year.
And I was looking up the election results. I see that in the last campaign that you managed for him, he received about 93,000 votes. Does that sound correct?
I think that sounds about right, yes.
And do you know how many votes he got last year without you managing his campaign?
A lot more.
134,598?
All right.
So you leave and he gets 40,000 more votes?
Apparently so.
Yeah, I don't know about this bill, but we have to wait and see, you know?
Mr. Speaker, will the gentleman yield?
Be glad to yield for a question. My good friend from Burleson.
Well, we do come from the same community, is that correct?
Yes, we do.
And so I just want to ask you just a couple questions about your bill. It says in here that employers can reduce normally the hours and also reduce their pay. Is that correct?
Well, under existing law, when participating employers cut hours, their employees become eligible to receive a proportionate amount of their unemployment benefits.
So let me ask you this question. Because of all the work this body's done and that you've done, are you trying to reduce our compensation here in the Texas House?
Not at all. Not at all. I think it's just about the right amount. The way
So you think you've earned your pay since you've been here for the last 60 days?
I think that's probably open for discussion, but I'm trying hard to earn it.
Welcome to the Texas House.
Thank you, Mr. Orr.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
Do you yield, Mr. Turner?
will the gentleman yield for a question?
Be happy to yield for a question.
Mr. Turner, is it not a fact that you are surrounded by the greatest freshman class in the history of the state legislature?
That is a fact, Mr. Weber.
And haven't we often lamented amongst ourselves how badly we feel for our colleagues not to be a part of our class and to be so old and forgetful and to have missed out on such a great opportunity? But one day, Lord willing, we will sit in their shoes. Haven't we often lamented that fact?
I'll let your words speak for themselves, Mr. Weber. At this particular moment, I don't think I could add anything to that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Turner, for what purpose?
will the gentleman yield?
I'd be happy to yield for a question.
Thank you, thank you. You know anything about the stimulus money?
A little. And for the record, this bill has nothing to do with the stimulus money.
And what is your last name?
My last name is Turner.
Good. I just wanted you to know that Mom and Dad wanted me to say congratulations on your first bill.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, members, I move passage.